Perhaps more than any other team sport, basketball allows for excellent players to make themselves stand out from those who are merely good. A great basketball player can take over a game almost single-handedly. A truly special one can even lead a team to season-length greatness without needing a ton of help. In its more than 70 years of existence, the NBA has seen countless star players, dazzle fans, and plenty of them have earned enshrinement in the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. But of those NBA stars, who have been the greatest players of all? So in this video, we will be discussing the top 10 greatest NBA players of all time. So, let's begin. Number 10. Kobe Bryant. Kobe the Black Mamba Bryant defined the 2000s. He was drafted directly out of high school in the 1996 NBA draft. He was an all-time great scorer with a killer instinct that struck fear in his opponents. Bryant earned his nickname, being as deadly on the court as the venomous snake he donned the name of. He played in the NBA for 20 years, winning 5 championships along the way, including 3 in a row. To this day, Bryant remains one of the most cold-blooded shooters of all time, making 17 game-winning shots in his career and another 7 game-tying shots that led to victories in overtime. Kobe Bryant is known for his incredible athleticism and clutch shots. Kobe is well-versed in many languages, including English, Spanish, and Italian fluently. A basketball player with a dangerous mindset. Amazing. Number 9. Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon is one of the greatest defensive players in the NBA history. Olajuwon went on to become one of the most powerful forces in the NBA. He was an incredible rebounder and defensively, he was entirely unmatched. Olajuwon led the league in rebounds twice and led in blocked shots 3 times. In fact, he still leads the all-time list for blocked shots in the NBA by over 500 blocks. With a total of 3,830, Olajuwon wasn't just a defensive force though, he was also great on the offensive end. He also averaged 21.1 points per game for his career. He was also a winner, winning 2 NBA championships during his career and being the Finals MVP in both. Number 8. Bill Russell. Bill Russell certainly has the most championships in NBA history with 11. In fact, he only failed to win a championship in 2 of his 13 seasons in the NBA. Russell is one of 7 players to ever win an NCAA championship, an NBA championship, an Olympic gold medal. He also was a player's coach for the Celtics near the end of his career, making him the first black coach in the NBA and the first black coach to win a championship. While the NBA didn't record blocks as a statistic until the 70s, it's believed that Russell is one of the greatest, if not the greatest shot blocker of all time. There are various newspaper reports that record Russell blocking as many as 17 shots in a single game, often earning triple-doubles by way of points, rebounds, and blocks. Number 7. Tim Duncan. Tim the Big Fundamental Duncan is the greatest power forward to ever play in NBA history. Duncan wasn't a flashy player, but was incredibly efficient both offensively and defensively. Duncan was known for being efficient, but his defensive skills are what truly made a remarkable player. To this day, he is ranked 3rd all-time in NBA defensive efficiency. Even though he never won a Defensive Player of the Year award, he was a 15-time All-Defensive selection and a 2-time MVP. Though he doesn't have a crazy shoe deal or million commercials, it can't be argued that Duncan is one of the greatest players to ever step on a court. Number 6. Earvin Johnson Jr. Earvin Magic Johnson Jr. was one of the pillars of the NBA during the 80s. Magic won the Rookie of the Year award and won the NBA championship. He was also the Finals MVP that year. Magic and the Lakers were part of the greatest dynasty the Lakers have ever had. They became known as the Showtime Lakers due to their fast-paced run-and-gun style offense. Magic's career was absolutely outstanding. Even though he won 5 championships during his career, he could have won even more if not for his health. Magic had to retire abruptly in 1991 when he announced to the world that he had contracted HIV. He didn't play again for 4 years until he returned for a brief 32-game stretch before retiring for good in 1996. In Magic's 13-year career, he went to 9 finals and won 5. The NBA consists of some phenomenal players that cannot be counted on fingertips. We are showing you some core players of the game. With 5 down, 5 more to go, so stay tuned. Number 5. Larry Bird. Bird was drafted 6th overall by the Boston Celtics in the 1978 NBA draft. Bird excelled in all aspects of the game, particularly his shooting, but also defensively and in his passing game. Bird was the first player in NBA history to shoot 50% on field goals, 40% on three-point shots, and 90% on free throws in a season. He also won 3 consecutive three-point shooting contests. He would even practice shooting three-pointers with his eyes closed. Bird led a great dynasty for the Celtics, winning 3 rings and 3 consecutive MVPs during his career. Bird is one of 3 players to ever earn the award 3 years in a row. His career is filled with things that few have accomplished, such as winning 3 consecutive MVPs, shooting unmatched field goal percentages, and sweeping Michael Jordan twice in the playoffs. He was a killer on the court, and he'll forever be known as one of the greatest players of all time. Number 4. Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal is one of the most dominant players in the history of the NBA. Shaquille was incredibly athletic, handling the ball well and being able to find his way in and out of lanes to score and grab rebounds. Shaquille dominated the court both offensively and defensively. During his career, he scored 28,596 points, sitting 8th all-time currently. He also grabbed 13,099 rebounds, which places him 15th of all time. The fact remains that Shaquille was an absolute GOAT at his position, and his exemplary play is the reason he's a 4-time champion and an MVP. It's also why he's one of the greatest to ever play the game. Number 3. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem was a dominant basketball player from the time he stepped on a court. After joining, he went on to win 3 consecutive NCAA championships, earning the tournament MVP all 3 years, a record that still holds today. During his career, Kareem took his team to the finals 10 times, winning 6 championships. He also won 6 MVP awards, a record that still stands. At the age of 42, when Kareem retired, he held the record for most points scored, most rebounds, most blocks, and most games played, and most wins. Number 2. Michael Jordan. Jordan is the greatest scorer in the history of the game. He wasn't born with the power of Shaquille or the size of Kareem, and yet he could not be stopped by any player on the court. He won the league's scoring title 10 times during his career, and this piled on the wins. Jordan won more than anyone. Jordan led the league in steals 3 times and was an all-defensive selection 9 times. He also led the postseason in steals twice and led the postseason in scoring 10 times. Jordan was an unstoppable force throughout his time in the league, even with 2 separate retirements during his career. He's the greatest scorer the game has ever seen, and his unblemished finals record is something that many people claim make him the greatest. Number 1. LeBron James. LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. He has dominated the NBA since he came into the league at a young age of 18. LeBron has done things that no other player before him have been able to do. He carried a decrepit 2007 Cleveland Cavaliers team to the finals, all on his own. He defeated not one but two of the league's greatest dynasties for championships in the San Antonio Spurs and the Golden State Warriors. He also brought a championship to Cleveland after a 52-year championship drought. James can do it all. He can score any given night, he can rebound the ball, and he is the greatest passing forward in league history. He currently is the only player in league history that sits in the top 10 for points scored and assists. James is currently playing in his 17th season, and yet he still is arguably the best player in the league, and is unarguably a top 5 player. He has dominated in his youth, his prime, and now in his later years. NBA has got some gems in terms of players, and the game keeps getting on the fire by the amazing moves of these players. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Thumbs up if you've liked it, and do hit the subscribe button so that you won't be missing out on any interesting videos from now on.